Hello everybody, welcome to the CSTL Week 1. This is JustCheese League versus Team Proxy Tossgirl. Join with me today is Narwhal. Narwhal, you're doing fine. I'm just going to speak for you at this point because this is the second time we've had to start this particular game. You want to introduce the players and tell us what we're watching?
Alright, so in our bottom right side, down in the probably like 5 o'clock position, we've got our pink Zerg named Callow. And up in the top, like probably 11 o'clock, green Zerg, EnderWiggnz. And this is game 2 between them.
Indeed. Game 1, so ZVZs. Game 1 was Ling Bling against Roach. Callow, maybe with some mistakes on Joe's part, managed to take the game. Or sorry, no, Joe took the game. I'm retarded.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Okay, won the first game.
I imagined what I wanted to happen in that game, which was where Joe tried to Ling Bling bust a roach wall, failed, and then Callow ran with like 10 roaches to Joe's base, and that should have won the game, but it didn't.
Yeah,
if you want to see the details of that, you can watch the VOD for Game 1.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he shift moved his army instead of attack moved, and us lower level players just need to learn the difference and just learn when it's safe to do either one. And it's a part of this low level play is also mastering the buttons as much as it's coming up with the strategies, and it's a lot of trying to mimic as well what the higher level play is.
Indeed. Indeed. No, that's really true. Much as the fingertips as is the strategy. And speaking of strategy, Joe is a little bit of a slow player as far as APM goes. Checking the APM tab. I mean, it's completely irrelevant right now, so I'm not even going to bother. Oh, we can look at EAPM. Well, how do I get that? EAPM. Shift-C. It totally doesn't matter. Anyways, one thing that Joe does well is, I think, opening strategy. He actually went gas pool here. And Callow just went pool and went pretty late gas here. You check the gas count for Callow. He's only mined about 40 gas.
Yeah.
Joe's actually mined close to 100. And in ZVZ, it's really important that you get either your baneling speed, your banelings, your ling speed, or your roaches out ASAP, because that kind of dictates what the early pace of the game is here. And so Joe here, since he has ling speed out immediately, he'll be able to take map control and punish Callow for any kind of early play he does. Yeah. So it looks like, interesting enough, I think Callow standardly gets a spine crawler. And since you don't play Zerg, Narwhal, let me tell you why this is bad. It's bad because it's just unnecessary. Assuming you get your tech up, you should never have stuff in your base. In fact, if in a Ling Bling war, typically, if there's lings and blings in your opponent's base, you've won the game. Like, pretty much just won the game at that point. And I think actually it looks like Callow just gifted an Overlord to Joe, which doesn't help the matter any.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if his placement could just be better or what, but I feel like putting it right in the middle of his mineral line is just messing things up a little bit.
Yeah.
He's down a drone, and then he's kind of, messing with the mining a little bit, it seems like to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's just it's the center of attention. It just, attention whore. A little bit of a fine color right there.
Yes, it's just sticking out there in the middle of the base. Really, I want to be looking at this Roach War and commenting on how Callow's deciding to go Roach War. He's going to get the early wall here. And This is actually Shades of Game 1. But no, we can't talk about that right now, Narwhal. Do you know why? Because that attention whore spine crawler is just sitting in the middle of the base. Just sitting there.
Well, we've got Callow going roaches again, and we've got EnderWiggnz going with the banelings again.
No! Oh no, there was a hole in that wall. Oh my gosh. Oh, and my family's home. So, but we're gonna keep going, but this is pretty Oh gosh, there's 2 banelings. Oh no, this is oh.
Yeah, the roaches come in and they're just chasing the drones around. They're all circling around. You should bring them back to that spine crawler, but he finally does, and he manages to clean it up, but he's behind now.
Well, actually, this is one of the interesting things about ZVZ. It looked bad, right? But let's look at the unit counts.
Yeah.
Callow,
he's 11 drones to 13 drones.
Yeah, Callow actually is not that far behind, even after losing, 5 drones or so. Actually, there we go. Actually lost 8 drones, which is pretty huge. But still, in the large scheme of things, still actually with a drone pump, he's ahead. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if Joe has been keep up. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been falling a little bit behind drone. He's throwing down some defensive spines because roaches do tend to tear lings apart. Give me 1 second. Check the mic by your face, by the way. Hi, honey. My family's home. Have to wave to him. Hi. And so...
I hear your little girl. So, meanwhile, in the game, we see Joe's putting down a roach warren as well.
Yep.
And he's just got spines going up all over the base, and it looks like we've got this drone with minerals gonna make a hatch. You know, that's 5 minerals that's just never gonna come back.
Yeah, that's
Never.
fine. Not a big deal in the world. But Joe's doing the right thing. He needs to get the roach warren up. You can't win Ling Bling against roach, especially taking your natural. You just don't have the creep to throw down the necessary spines to do so. So you need that roach warren to be able to take your natural, basically. But Cal's going to play pretty passive here.
Yeah, at this point of the game, you know, Callow, I don't know if it would make sense for him to be pushing out, to be at least checking to see what's up in here. He doesn't really know what Joe is up to, and he's just kind of sitting back. And there's the Overlord that's just sitting in his base, and he knows exactly when those roaches are going to head out. So he's just kind of keeping them there for now, and he's just going to play defensively. He's going to set down another hatch.
Yeah, I think ideally he should have pushed out. I wouldn't necessarily commit. I mean, definitely with that roach advantage, he may have been able to win the game just outright. But one of the benefits of pushing off Ling Bling is that you force your opponent into having to drone to keep up, and then you push out with your units and you force him to make units himself. And so unless Joe gets a sick counterattack, it strictly forces more units instead of drones, which is what Callow wants, without any threat to his army.
Wait, that's what Callow wants?
Yeah, Callow wants Joe to make units, not drones.
Gotcha.
That's the key thing in CBC, right? We don't know...
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know when to make units, and so we want to drone whenever possible. And so actually checking the drone counts right now, that's really the most important part as we transition to the mid-game here. It looks like we have 28 drones for Callow, 22 for Ender. So a nice, fat 6 drone lead's actually a pretty good advantage right now, I would say.
Yep. And the hatches are not too far apart from each other, because Callow's is just about to spring up here, and he's gonna hopefully send some drones down to it.
Yep.
Hopefully. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, it looks like Joe is Maynarding over, so it looks like he's going to have a nice even drone count here. One of the benefits is Joe got his hatch early enough that he managed to get 1 full inject, so he's actually kind of caught up in larvae, or in drones rather. It looks like Callow actually just pumped 5 more, so it's kind of a little teeter-tottering thing right now.
Oh, not sending people in. Oh, here they go, finally. Alright,
Oh,
good.
oh, there's the Maynard, yes. Yeah, that Maynard took a second, so it looks like Callow's finally going to be sending off those his drone advantage basically was kind of being wasted because it was over-mining his main. So yeah, looks like we're kind of falling into the passive part of ZVZ. Both players are just interested in droning, building up their economies, and then choosing tech. And so checking the production tab, it looks like Callow's lair is done, and Joe's lair just finished up too. And so we'll see what tech choices they go down. Looks like Callow's going to be going Spire, going to go do some Muta play. Apparently Muta and Hydralisk. Say that again? You're a little quiet.
Sorry, where do you see the spire?
Right next to his spawning pool to the south. I would ping it, but we're watching replays.
A little bit ahead of me, because that just went down for me.
Okay, yeah, so this is about 12:50 on the clock right now. Looks like Joe is going to be putting down a Spire of his own, as well as 2 Spore Crawlers. Playing it safe, because I don't think he actually knows what the lair timing is like, and indeed he does not. So he needs to put down the Spore Crawlers to make sure he just doesn't get overrun by mutas.
I think I remember this part of the game. This is the part of the game that confused me and the other viewers who were watching it, because it looks like Callow here is just going every type of tech that there is.
Indeed.
He's down a lot of different buildings, but at the same time just kind of sticking with a mostly roach army. So we weren't really sure where he was going to go with these tech choices, but we're just kind of waiting to see.
Yeah, indeed, I would argue that Hydra Spire, you just don't have the gas to do it. Even on 3 base, going Muta versus going Hydra sucks up all that gas. So certainly you can't do that same thing on 2 bases. So I think that is a mistake.
I also want to note that Joe is spreading creep over to where, you know, Callow's third would be. So he's almost like spreading the creep for him. I mean, it's a very nice gesture in a way. And I mean, the queen is going to be like, no, that's my job. I'm supposed to spread the creep. And, yeah.
You are completely right. That is kind of a weird choice. Probably just went around and started telling all his overlords to spread creep. But yeah, that's definitely not a play you necessarily want to do. It looks like Cal's going to move to the center of the map since he has roughly the superior army. Checking the unit, looking at the food count, right, Joe is behind by 20 units. Mostly because it looks like he's going to be pumping out mutas now instead of roaches.
Right, yeah. So they're actually about even on the drones at this point, so Joe was able to catch up there, but
yep.
Yeah, he's got a lot of roaches. So.
Yep, it looks like we're going to enter into the awkward phase of ZVZ, aka the Muta Wars. Mutas are pretty interesting. The key thing with mutas that makes it interesting is the fact that the glaive bounce is triple mitigated by armor. So you want to get that armor up as soon as possible. I'm not sure if they're either doing that right now. Looks like no, but that's okay. The other thing too is that if you commit to mutas, it turns out that you have a pretty good defender's advantage. And what I mean by that is when mutas attack, the glaive actually doesn't do any kind of smart bouncing. Like, it doesn't prioritize units or anything like that. So if you engage the mutas over your own stuff, like for example you send like your lings underneath the mutas while you fight, a lot of the lings will soak up the glaive bounces, and then your mutas will be able to deal more damage. And so
you look on here, Ender's trying to put up a third, and Callow is sent over 2 mutalists to attack this, so at least he knows that it's up there, but Ender's just got the superior Uniforce right now.
Yeah. Looks like Callow's going to sit here and try to blitz the third. He's going to be able to force a cancel on that at the very least. Hopefully it's a cancel. Ooh, no cancel. Big mistake. But I believe Joe should be able to clean up this army, which is going to put Callow probably significantly behind in terms of army count, because his food lead was mostly roaches, and those are all going to go down here.
Yeah.
So forces the cancel, but I'd say because of Joe's superior muta count right now, we got 19 mutas on the field. Or yeah, 19 mutas.
19. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty big. This is the awkward time, like I said.
By the way, I think I'm behind you on screen.
All right, yeah, we're sitting about the 8:15 mark, 18:15 mark right now. 19 mutas floating around.
Behind you.
Make sure you're not
okay.
Make sure you're not pulling in me and putting it on slow speed.
No, it's on faster.
Oh, okay.
Don't know why yours just speeds up over time. I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah. So it looks like the mutas are coming in. 19 mutas against 1 queen. Definitely not a good proposition. He's going to take down the Spire. And this is pretty much game here. Callow kind of needs to just dedicate full-on Hydra production, but these mutas are going to be able to harass all day and keep Callow in his base.
Well, here's the thing. You'd think it was game, but as you know, and as I know, this is game 3.
This... Spoilers! Wow!
Spoilers alert!
But, I mean, to be fair...
Have these Hydralics coming in and just taking out mutas, and sure, he cleans up Callow's main, but I believe Callow is going to run around and deflect that for now.
Yeah, he totally did. These Hydras are actually paying off right now in a big way, mostly because Joe's trying to engage them directly. It's actually really hard. Yeah, actually...
He sends them in move attacks, or instead of attacking, he's just moving them.
Yeah, and the Hydras get free shots here. It looks like actually, about 20 minutes in the game, looks like Callow's cleaned up all of the mutas, which is a huge thing for him. A little Ling run by from Joe here. Gonna get some extra drone kills, but largely deflected by the Roach Hydra force of Callow. Looks like Callow's got 2 infestors on the field, 3 infestors. So he's actually pretty safe against Muta right now. We go back to Joe's base. Kind of still stuck on Muta Ling Roach. which is not a good position to be in. You really want to develop your tech past that, maybe switch into a full Roach Infestor army. But right now, Callow does have a decisive advantage after Joe kind of squandered the Muta advantage that he had before.
He sees those banelings up there that are starting to morph in, and he's just... Oh, he walks his army right into them, but...
Oh, I missed that. Where was that?
Now.
I totally missed...
Joe had a bunch of banelings just sitting right outside the third, ready to morph in and run in, and Callow just moved his army right past them. The banelings exploded about half of his army, but the army just kept going. They're going to deny this expansion up here.
Yeah, that was huge.
And the mutas are going to come in and try and defend.
And then they don't.
Gonna take those out to dinner, and yeah.
Yeah.
Not looking for Joe at the moment.
No, it's not. I mean, Callow has pretty much a double food advantage right now. He has superior tech. That baneling hit that I did not catch on camera actually looked like it hit mostly roaches, which is,
yeah.
I'm guessing, was more just luck on Callow's part, but
right.
The right kind of luck, because if the Hydras would have died, that push would have failed. So
I think the roaches are moving slightly faster. The roaches were up in front, and I'm gonna check over here to make sure that that third is.
Yeah. Oh, big engagement. Ling Bling, some Muta against Roach Hydra. The Blings explode on the Roaches. The Ling's doing the best they can to clean up, but a sizable force remains for Callow. I'm not sure if he'll be able to break these 3 spine crawlers, but he's definitely forced Joe into, again, a sticky wicket.
Right.
Looks like...
Some more reinforcements. And...
Looks like Joe trying to flood Lings in. Got the Infestors in the back. They don't need to do anything. They'll just be the supervising Infestors. Just making sure that the Roach Hydra guys do their job. Yep, and that's GG. And it looks like Callow takes game 2 of this best of 3.
Right.
Cool. So, pretty good game. I liked, again, they're silver players, so you don't expect, like, master level play, obviously. But they did some good transitions. Joe went into Muta pretty strongly, took advantage of the fact that Callow was indecisive on tech. But Callow, on the other hand, his tech eventually kicked in. He was able to deflect the Muta harass, some missed micro on Joe's part, but with the Hydra Roach Infestor army, he was able to run over his opponent. So, yeah, good game from both of them.
Indeed.
And so, well, this is to determine whether or not JustCheese League and Proxy Tossgirl are going to have an ace match for week 1 of the CSTL. So let's just go jump into game 3. We'll be right back.
All right.